Hey guys, happy Tuesday, happy Halloween. Hope everyone's ready to trick-or-treat tonight, to get your trick-or-treaters, to take kids out trick-or-treating. I know it's a Tuesday and everyone wants to complain about it. I don't mind the holiday being on the actual holiday. I know everyone wants to turn Halloween into like the last Saturday of October. Why are we doing this on a Tuesday? You know, it's one night. It's not that long. Take your kids out for like an hour. They'll get plenty of candy, plenty of time to get back into bed. Really not a big deal. Okay, so I hope everyone is ready for Halloween tonight. It is Tuesday. It is a huge Tuesday. Talking football. I'm Kristen. I'm the fabulous football babe. And we're going to break this down here for you for the next few minutes while I figure out why my phone is doing this. There we go. Okay, technical difficulties. Okay, so Tuesday, big Tuesday in the football world. Anyone who doesn't care about football, probably not following me anyway. If you do care about football, you're listening here, living under a rock. It is the trade deadline for the NFL, 4 p.m. Eastern time trade deadline. Players already on the move. A huge one just popped up. Washington Commanders send Montez Sweat to Chicago. So he's now a Bear. That's a big one on the move. Lots of other ones looking around, being on the move. Davante Adams is not happy out there in Vegas. I don't know who can blame him. Is he on the move? Saquon Barkley, is he on the move? What do you guys think? Your team, buyers, sellers, nothing? Don't care? I don't really know what the Patriots are going to do. Obviously, they're my team. Your two biggest trade commodities in New England in this rough season we're having are Kendrick Bourne, who, if anyone didn't know now, is out for the year with a torn ACL. So there's no value there now. You can't get rid of him now. And then you're talking Josh Uche maybe is one who could be on the trade block. But are you really ready now to trade away your best defensive player? I mean, if you want to be somewhat competitive, I think, in these games in this last half of the season, you can't trade him away. So I suspect the Patriots will do absolutely nothing. The Bill Belichick special, do absolutely nothing. 4 p.m. will come and go. I won't do a damn thing. Again, I'm the fabulous football babe. If you guys want to subscribe to my channel, leave comments, tell me what you think, what you want to talk about, teams you want to talk about. NFL trade deadline, 4 p.m. today. I'm sure will be lots to talk about in the next couple days once it's passed. See what happens. See who's on the move. I'm wearing, it's a little chilly out here in New Hampshire today. It was 40. It's like 42 right now. So I'm repping. We're going to talk some college football for the rest of my ride here. I'm repping my Buffs hat. Anyone not paying attention, never listened to me before, I actually went to see you a millennia ago, it seems like. So this isn't, I'm on the Coach Prime bandwagon, which I don't think you can be on anymore now at 4-4, but the start of the season 3-0 bandwagon. I wasn't on the bandwagon. I've never got off the wagon. I am a Buff. It is my school. I'm a forever Buff. So we're gonna take a couple minutes here, talk about Coach Prime. I think Coach Prime is going to be fine. I really do. I think he can build a program out in Boulder. I think the problem he's having this year is he brought his luggage. He said it. He told everyone in that room. Now, again, a 1-11 CU team last year. It's been bad for years. Couple bright spots, bright moments, but we've been in the bottom of the basement here in college football world for a long time. So things needed to change. But Coach Prime bringing his luggage, your luggage is D3. They can be as talented as you want them to be. You can hype them up and talk about the great things they did at Jackson State with you and all of these things. But they're D3, and they were D3 players for a reason. It's a lot to ask a D3 team to hang with a D1 team. And that's exactly what's happening. There's probably a handful of guys that he has that could have played at this level their whole time. Obviously, his sons are very talented. Travis Hunter, sophomore, dual ways player. He he's amazing. I am so excited for this kid. I hope he doesn't leave early as a junior. I hope he plays out all his years. He's only a sophomore though, so he's most likely definitely coming back next year. He's probably one that really could have, gone D1. But some of these guys, they're not. They're just not. That O-line was atrocious against UCLA. It's just, you can't ask them to hang with the D1 program. So I'm really interested to watch Prime this recruiting season. National Signing Day in February. What does that look like? Is he going to snag a handful of top recruits away from the Michigans, the Texas, the USCs, the Oklahomas? Can he grab that kid to be like, oh, you can go to Texas, you can come here and play with me? What does he do with those kids? What does he do when he's got a plate of real D1 kids to work with? So, again, the biggest problem Coach Prime has, Steve has, is the craziness that the media just jumped on this thing. They won one game, which matched their season total last year. They won their first game. They beat TCU, who, whatever you want to say about them, was in the national championship game in January. And everyone's like, oh, well, they're just going to run the table. They're going 11-0, 12-0. We're just going to sit here. All the morning shows, all the pregame shows were setting up in Boulder for like a month. And I was like, God, just go away. Don't talk about us. Go away. And that's, it's very Prime. Dion is what he does. He showboats, strutting, the watch thing. I missed what that was about, that Sanders does, that UCLA kept doing, and other guys are doing to the back to them. I mean, they brought it on themselves, and that's Coach Prime. He doesn't care. He's like, I'm going to showboat when I win, and when I lose, I'll just be like, hey, we got to do better next question next week. Like, it's... So everyone kind of jumping all over them now is because of all that talk and all that. They had like a turnover thrown on the sidelines. You had random people, like the most random people ever on the sidelines of Boulder, and be like, did you even know what this is? I don't like it. It's not me. Obviously, as a Patriot fan, the school of Belichick is where I learned, and you don't talk about it. We're just on to Cincinnati, on to the next. We do our talking in February when we win the whole thing. So Coach Prime is not my era. He's not my cup of tea in that way, but I think he's going to be fine. The big thing with getting these recruits, getting these players, is going to be, what does he do the next couple of weeks? They've got Oregon State, you've got Washington State, you've got to play Utah. That's your toughest game left. Can you play them tough? Can you hang with Utah? Can you beat Utah? Can you go toe-to-toe with Utah? Can you beat Oregon State? Can you beat Washington State? Can you beat some of these games like you should have won Stanford? What did you learn from that? Can you win a couple of these games? Can you close out a 7-5 season? If he finishes 7-5, that's bowl eligible. That's huge. I mean, that's a huge win for Prime. 6-6, even the same. I think his best is yet to come. He said it a couple weeks ago. This is the worst he's going to be because he's got D3 players. So that's my bit on Coach Prime. Again, repping my Buffs hat. It's a little chilly up here in New England today, so putting it on for you guys. Now let's dive in. Huge day in college football. The CFP rankings come out tonight. I think it's at 7. Big Rankings. This is the last year. It's just going to be 4. So next season is going to be a madhouse. 12 teams in the playoff. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. I want the playoffs to start immediately. I think it's the hugest disadvantage in the college football world that you play a game. They're all of these teams are playing games on right after Thanksgiving, and then some of them will play their conference championship game the first weekend in December or something, and then that's it. They don't play football again until like January, and it sucks. It's stupid. If you want to have a playoff, have a playoff, but those games need to start immediately. You better be playing on like December 10th. I do like that the Army-Navy game stands alone all by itself in the beginning of December. I think they should leave that. Is there a way to play some of these playoff games on Friday because you can't touch the NFL on Sunday? I don't know what the rules would be. I really like the standalone Army-Navy game, though. I think that game deserves to stand alone. My husband was in the Army for 10 years. I'm an Army wife, so I enjoy that game standing alone. But if you want to start these playoffs and start 12 teams, you better start playing right away. Back to back. No, you get 6 weeks to bye before you get a chance to play. It's dumb. It's stupid. But this year, last year, 4 teams. You can go anywhere, Google CFP rankings, and there's all kinds of lists. They're very all over the place. So obviously lots of people have Georgia, have Ohio State, all floating up there, number 1, number 2, depends on what list you're looking at. The problem with Georgia is going to be their schedule. They are the defending champs, obviously, but the next team they play Tennessee, who right now is ranked. But will it be the SEC championship game that is a do or die for them? I mean, their schedule is not really helping them at all. Ohio State, obviously, running the table right now. They have big games left. Obviously, they still have to play Michigan. So that's their huge game, Big Ten championship game. That's the only thing that stinks sometimes with Michigan and Ohio State and the Big Ten and what they're doing, because one of them isn't going to make it because they play in the same thing. So they can't, they're in the same division, so they can't play in the championship game. So let's say Ohio State wins that game, Michigan's automatically out, in my opinion, because you can't be in the playoff if you didn't even play for your conference title. I don't know. I feel that way. It's not fair to punish like the Pac-12 or the Big 12 or something because they don't make it, but Michigan makes it. Michigan not only didn't win the Big Ten, they didn't even play for it. They didn't even have a shot at it. They lost to Ohio State. And the same thing would be true for Ohio State. If Ohio State loses to Michigan, do you bump Michigan plays the Big Ten, Michigan wins, the Ohio State's left out? Like, I don't know. You guys need to change your play in different things, play in different divisions. I don't know how the Big Ten is. Is it north, south, east, west? I don't know which one it is, but switch them. One of you move to the other one so you maybe have a shot at that at the championship game and really make it a better championship game. I don't know. So you got Ohio State. I think Ohio State's going to win out at number 1 tonight. Just their schedule. Georgia, again, they have one big win against Kentucky, and that's about it. Interesting enough, Florida State is floating around there. Florida State played nobody. I think they've got nothing. They had an LSU win out there in the beginning of the year. That was it. The rest of their schedule is nothing. There's really nobody there for them. But if they run the table, who are you leaving out? That would be a tough sell. Oklahoma lost this past weekend to Kansas, so that changed a lot. Texas lost to Oklahoma, but obviously Texas losing to Oklahoma is better than Oklahoma losing to Kansas, so people would have Texas above them right now, which can make sense even though they lost. But I lost to a better team and you lost to Kansas. College football is so crazy, right? I mean, I'm kind of for 12 teams. It kind of eliminates the, how hard, how strong was your win against this team. But 12 teams is a lot. And if you're going to go 12 teams, you got to, again, we can't be playing, and they won't. They can't be playing into February. There's too much going on with draft eligible players and the combine and their workouts and all that stuff. So it'll be interesting to see next year what it does. But 4 teams is tough because now we're going to spend the next couple minutes talking Michigan football. My cousin-in-law is a Michigan alum. Brady is obviously a Michigan dude, so sure, Michigan's on my radar. What about Michigan? Okay? Anyone, comment. What do you think? Is this a bunch of pure crap? Is this legit? Should there be heavy penalties? Should there be suspensions? Should there be doxed? Should there be you can't compete in these things if this turns out to be true, these allegations? Anyone who doesn't know, there is a sign stealing allegation going on in Michigan, which to me, I'm going to throw a little Patriot talk in here too. I'm going to compare it to Spygate. I think it's pure crap. I don't know how you think I'm stealing signals from your sideline. If you're waving your arms and moving stuff around and tapping your head and whatever, sending a signal to the quarterback, and I happen to crack that code, I think that's kind of what it's all about. Anyone can get these signs. I can get the sideline footage. I can get the footage from all the games and get all the sideline stuff I want and find a way to piece it together to be like, hey, when he taps his head twice, he throws a bootleg. When he does this, the quarterback's keeping it. When they do this, it's a running play. I mean, anyone can do it. Anyone could crack the code. And I feel like it was kind of like Spygate it wasn't the Patriots filming the game, it was where he was filming it. Anyone could film. Filming was perfectly legal up until I think it was 2008 or 2009. They took it away. But anyone could film. It was where the dude was standing. That was the problem. But if you looked at that footage, they went to the score with the official scoreboard. They got the down and distance, the time, the quarter, the score. The camera went over to the sidelines to see what was going on, what they were doing, anything they could pick up. They went back to the scoreboard one more time. Then they went to the field to see what play they were running. Now, if it was 3rd and long in the second half of the game and you're down 10 points, and every time it's 3rd and long, you run one of these 2 plays, but the Patriots figuring that out is cheating? That's not cheating. That's figuring it out. That's being like, you need to change what you're doing. If they can figure out that 2 head taps means it's a quarterback sneak or quarterback keeper or a bootleg or a flea flicker or a screen pass or whatever, you need to change your signals. I always equate stuff like this to go back. I don't know if I have any paper. I wish I had paper. Oh, I have one. I have paper. Here we go. This is what I equate the sign stealing ventures to. This is what I think it's about. Okay. I am 41 years old now. Just had a birthday. I'm 41 years old. I really, obviously watching football with dad and stuff when you're little. Sure, I was watching it. We had one TV. This was back in the 80s, one TV. So sure, this was, I watched football with dad mainly so you could watch TV on Sunday. But I don't remember it. My football is like 1992. 10 years old. Drew Bledsoe, my quarterback. Those are my memories. Now we're gonna play a little game here called Tell Me What You Think. That my football watching life, my whole football watching life, this is what I look at on the coaches, on the sidelines. This is what they're doing. This is football. If you ask the player, like, oh, what am I doing here? You'd be like, oh, you're a football coach, right? Football coach. This is what we do. Go back to NFL films. Back in the 70s, even into probably the early, mid 80s, late 80s, probably even 70s, 60s. No one's doing that. There is not a coach holding up a piece of paper to his face doing this. What do you think happened in the time of the 80s, into the 80s, that then in 92, 93, 94, coaches all of a sudden started holding up paper to their face? In my head, somewhere, some coaches, some guys, they used to have tons of people standing behind them because they would hold the cords, right? Everyone remembers that. Like, I remember that. They would hold cords. So you always had people around the head coach. And I have a feeling in some game in, November of 1989, there was a person on the sidelines who could read lips. And they said to a coach, it was like, oh, what do we think we should do? What are we going to do? What are they going to do? What defense should we throw out? And he's like, oh, they're going to run the ball. And the coach was like, what do you mean they're going to run the ball? He's like, well, I could read his lips. They're going to run the ball. Oh, they're going to run the ball. Push out my defense. Someone read the lips. I really believe that. They found a way to read lips. And the coach was like, don't move, read the lips. And now every coach does this. So you can't do that anymore. Was that cheating? Is that cheating? To me, that's not cheating. To me, you just found a way to crack the code. I don't think that's cheating. I don't think Michigan is cheating. I don't think it's a scandal. I think it's pure crap. I think everyone does this and no one cares if like Colorado State does it, but because it's Michigan, we're going to make a huge fuss about it. The big question though is, let's park over here so I'm out of the sun. Does this impact Michigan? Will it cost them a spot? What will the NCAA do? All right, guys, I'm at school a little longer today. Took a little longer route to school because I had to go on my rant about the Michigan cheating sign stealing scandal. But I'm at school now. So if you liked my content here, subscribe to my channel. Tell me what you think. Again, I'm Kristen. I'm the fabulous football babe. Big doings in the world of football today. NFL trade deadline, 4 p.m. CFP rankings come out at 7 tonight. We're going to have lots to hash into the next time we see each other. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a happy Halloween. And don't eat all your candy. Good guy.